Hey, as always, I'm dancing to the intro music. You know, I do the Reebok. Hello, good evening, and welcome to I can't talk. Explorations in Curious Herbalism. And I am your host, Kenya T. Koviak. What do you think of that? No, I know. I love me, but I love you too, and I love that you come back all the time. And even though we've had a few hiccups, because I've been going through my thing, because I be here and in and out. Y'all are really here. Y'all have really been hanging with me. So I'm hanging with y'all. And I'm just going to tell you that doing this show and having you all come back every time we are here, sharing this space with me, learning about the magical stuff about herbs is magical. It is priceless. It is a treasure. These moments to me are golden. Speaking of golden, you knew I was going somewhere with that. We're going to talk about goldenrod today. Now, you may have seen me talk about it elsewhere, but I'm going to talk about it again. I do what I want. I'm grown. I can talk about goldenrod if I want to. Goldenrod, also known as Sodago. There are over 77. Let's hear that again. Over 77 varieties of goldenrod here in the United States and in Canada. Well, I should say this part of North America. But we're our own country. They are theirs. And they invaded us before. Oh, oh. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. We love y'all, Canada. We do. I'm sure you won't invade us unless we take all the Timmies. Okay, that will never happen. All right, but goldenrod. I love goldenrod because it has so many uses, and I'm looking this way because I want to show you something. Now you know the goldenrod comes around the time around end of summer and fall, and that's when the bees are out, and you can tell when the season is hit. We've talked about goldenrod before. I wanted to show you some more stuff about it, but you can tell when the season's hit because that goldenrod honey, it has a smell. And yes, I know I've talked about goldenrod before. I don't care. I love it so much. But I found my goldenrod and I wanted to show you. Let's do that special effect again. Roll that footage. Ah, ah. Goldenrod. Look at how prettily it dried out. Look at those leaves. Aren't they beautiful? Why am I talking about goldenrod now? Because some of you don't just wildcraft, you grow with intention. Now, I would like you to plant your goldenrod now so that you can reap at the end of summer what you grow today. Because goldenrod brings riches, it brings wealth, it brings good fortune. But also on another level, and before I say this, let me start off with I am not a certified naturopath. I am not a certified herbalist. I am not a practitioner with a licensing as far as an allopathic medical doctor or physician, nor am I a nurse practitioner. I have said all of that stuff to say I am not giving you medical advice. So when I say what I say and you try to tell somebody, oh, she gave me medical advice, then you are a liar and the truth is not in you because I'm telling you right now, I'm not giving you medical advice, but I am telling you about folklore and about remedies, and I am telling you about magic. So you take that with the grain of salt that you wish. Now, goldenrod can be mixed with other plants to make herbal blends so that we can actually do magic effectively to purpose. You can pick what you wish, but I have a pair here, a pairing with goldenrod that I would like to introduce you to. See, we're going to do a little extra. It's not just going to be about goldenrod. We're going to do a little extra. Do you recognize this plant? The flowers are dried. It might be difficult. These are chrysanthemums. Let's look again. Chrysanthemums. I gotta be careful because my nose starts to itch when I get close to telling y'all something I ain't supposed to tell you. But you can mix chrysanthemums with your goldenrod. I'll be looking at my boobs. There we go. With your goldenrod leaves and some of the flowers. Okay? Can you see it? You can see it. It got all over my work surface too. And then you can also mix in a peach pit. What are you going to do with all that? You're probably wondering. See, you didn't think I was going to just only ever give you herbs and never talk about what to do with them magically, did you? Okay, you can mix those together and you can make yourself a magical sachet or a magical bag. You could even make a magical bath. Okay, first of all, don't just get peach pits from anybody else's mouth. You don't just stick things in your mouth and you don't just get things out of other people's mouths. I just wanted to let you know that, we know this, right? Right. We know this. Okay. But, get that peach pit, clean it, bless it, dry it out so that you can use it and you can make it into a bath. You can mix it into a blend for a magical bag. You can make it into a dry incense. But why am I putting these things together? I'm making a money longevity blend. I'm making a money longevity blend. You can look up peaches. Now, don't ingest because it's arsenic. Okay? Don't do that. That goes back to don't put things back into your mouth that you weren't supposed to eat. But I'm making a money longevity blend. Now, here's the thing: the peach has its own energy for longevity. The chrysanthemum has good fortune and prosperity and abundance. The goldenrod has money and wealth and things like that. Putting these things together, just together, I could either pray over it or enchant it and leave it on my dresser. Y'all like these, don't you? You like these little jars, don't you? They're kind of cool. And nobody would know what it was. They would think this is a general potpourri. They wouldn't know any better, and that's good because it's not any of their business. But I could definitely enchant this, and I could put it on my altar to draw money and longevity. Or what I could also do is take this goldenrod based blend and I can grind it down. Now, if you have a mortar and pestle and you're feeling strong, my friend, and you can crunch this down in your mortar and pestle with that peach pit in there, go right ahead. Some of us will use a coffee grinder, an electric coffee grinder, and it works just fine. But I will tell you, there's something extremely satisfying about crushing down a peach pit or a high john root with a baseball bat in a huge wooden pestle or in a huge, huge metal bowl, just using the baseball bat. It feels good. It feels good. Now, if you pound yam, you might be able to do that too, because you can crack it that way too. But don't damage your mortar. But definitely just pound this down, crush it up. You can make a wealth and prosperity powder, and you could use that on the thresholds of your home to try to encourage things, probably on a pathway leading it towards your door. Another thing, I know y'all, I'm really teaching y'all magic today, right? But I'm not teaching you how to enchant. You should know how to do that. Another thing you can do is to make this into an oil. Now, in order to do that and not have the adverse effect, you need to make sure your things are dried out completely. Whenever you add anything to an oil or something like that that's perishable, that could be turning rancid, make sure all of your items are completely dry. And drying out goldenrod is going to look like this. It's going to look fuzzy. Technical difficulties. Okay, it's gonna be fuzzy. Look at that. Started and I can pick right back up. But all of this stuff right here that you see, you can also take it, and as long as it's dry, remember, once you can actually make this into an infused oil. And I want to point out that if you were using this remedy, I'm not giving medical advice, but if you're using it as a remedy, you can use the tops of the goldenrod for one leaves for something else because people use it for teas, they use it for poultices and compresses because this is one of the things you use also to help with bones. It's not just about all comfrey. It's not always about comfrey. Comfrey is not all about you. You don't even go here. But I'm just saying. But there's other things you can do. But in this particular case, you can make these herbs into a powder or leave them like they are, put them into a large container of oil, and infuse the oil to make oil. Cat, what are you doing? Sorry. My cat has found my valerian. It's about to go down. Okay. Another thing you can do when you blend, other than making a magical bag or an oil, you can make a tincture. And I will be doing that at a new one 22 in Michigan the next couple of months. So this is an easy one to do. Just these 3 items here, or if you have peach leaves. Now, peach leaves also are something you find added to Crown of Success oil. And if you have some peach leaves, try to hold on to those as well for some Crown of Success oil and to add this here. Anytime you do a money magic, if you can add wisdom to it, then do so. Now, there's another item that you want to add to this though. And I was not going to really get into it because of the situation. You may want to use an oil with this. I would be wrong to not tell you about the other part. If you use almond oil with this, it will kick it up a notch as far as your blend. But I have to warn you, whenever you use almond oil, I've always been taught, and I've read and I have researched and found to be true, that if you use almond oil or almond in your money spells, you must also add bay leaves. Do not use almond oil or almond anything in your bells without bay leaves, or else negative thing could happen with it. It's just a weird little thing. It's kind of like when people use patchouli to break people up and then they get cursed. It's just one of those things the plant does. I can't tell you why. But yeah, this is a really good blend. You could also make a money powder with this, and you could actually add it to something else as a carrier. Now, most people make powders. They do. If you still get talcum or baby powder, you use that. That's all fine and good. Get some starch. You can use potato starch, corn starch, sweet potato starch, yam starch. Just find a starch that works for you and mix it very softly with it. You don't have to make it hard, just enough to spread it, or even sawdust. But remember, if you use sawdust, make sure it's the kind of wood you want. Personally, I probably use sugar maple wood because I would like to sweeten it up a little bit. Syrup is faster than honey, and it's also a lot more accessible and a lot more practical. Now, because we had the interruption, I'm not really sure where our time is, but I think we're at the 15-minute mark. So this is when I do my outro usually, but I want to say a couple things before that. Make sure you find me on the Michigan Witches Ball in Michigan. But more importantly, pay attention because pretty soon, I think my Oracle deck drops this month. My Oracle deck drops this month. So find me at Lovely Realms Enterprises on GameCrafter. So pay attention to that. And I can't thank you all enough for being so patient, coming back to the podcast, and for the viralcast, vlogcast. I'm 53, y'all. Y'all got to work with me. I don't know. But thank you so much for coming here and being patient with our technical difficulties and learning how to make this money blend and this prosperity blend here on Explorations in Herbalism with Kenya T. COVIAK. I look forward to seeing you next time.